Alright, we gotta talk about this real quick because Leigh Wood just became WBA champ again, part 2. I just want to summarize my thoughts real quick, and just in case the zone don't copyright strike me, we watching this bitch live. So let me talk about the fight. Essentially, Wood did one major adjustment, and that was keeping his left hand up next to his face. In the first fight, round 7, dude got freaking destroyed with right or left hand coming from Lara. And this fight, he did a couple major adjustments. One, he kept his left hand stuck to his chin, so every time Lara would throw that right or left hand, he would just get snuffed. One of the most beautiful things you can see of an adjustment. Second, he boxed pretty well. He just kept the fight at distance. He kept the fight with his jab, and he was really smart. There's a lot to unpack here. Let me turn this volume down. There's a lot to unpack because I like to think that Lara wasn't in this fight 100% good. If you guys don't know, Lara came in overweight. He was 129 pounds. So basically a 130-pound fighter in there tonight, probably even more after he rehydrated. The British Boxing Committee said that he was unfit to make 126 pounds, I think Friday or Thursday. So they didn't let him keep his belt, so Lara got stripped before the fight. The reason I bring it up is because Lara looked flat. Normally in most Lara fights, you'll see him come in and be really aggressive. Come into the body, coming to bang. I mean, I've seen this guy get up from a body shot and come in to destroy a person, right? But, like, in this fight, he looked flat. And he really didn't seem like he wanted to be in there for winning. He just sort of seemed he was there to, like, survive and just because he had the contractual obligation to show up. That's not to take away from Leigh Wood, though. He was really smart. Like I said, kept that left hand up. He kept using his jab. Something that's really underrated is that jab to the body. It seemed to take a lot of out of Lara. Or if Lara had any intentions of winning the fight, Leigh Wood's jab to the body seemed to really like bother Lara. And major ups to this man. Aside from that, Leigh Wood in round 2, beautiful uppercut to drop Lara. So everything was just going wrong for this man, or in right for Leigh Wood. Essentially, those are my big thoughts. So what's next for Leigh Wood? For me, there's Luis Venado. He just beat the crap out of Mick Conlan. I didn't watch the fight. I gotta watch it and catch up, but I can only watch one fight at a time, right? He beat the crap out of Mick Conlan at 126. Top rank, DAZN. Let's make a unification. I mean, 126 is popping, but they have no unified champs. So, I mean, let this man get either a unification, maybe Lara part 3, if Lara can still make the weight. I'm not sure what Mr. Eddie Hearn wants to do, but those are just some preliminary thoughts on my end. But overall, what an amazing comeback, especially after getting knocked out from the first fight. Wood has some balls on him, man. Went life or death with Mick Conlan himself, came back, knocked him out in the 12th. Went life and death with Lara, came back and dropped him and won a unanimous decision in the second fight after everybody was counting him out. You got to have some balls for this man. Anyways, that's the main thoughts I have real quick. I just like talking about boxing, so I'm just going to try to be more consistent. See you guys later for Alexis Rocha versus Anthony Young. We on DAZN all day. Probably going to walk my dog in between, though. Peace. Subscribe. Don't be lame.